Little faggots, it's motherfucking Coke Man. It's time for a fucking story time video. Holy Jesus. So as you see, the title is called Gunbroker is Fun. And that's definitely sarcastic as fuck. If you know what Gunbroker is, it's an online gun selling auction website, an intermediary for people who want to buy and sell guns to each other. I've sold a couple of firearms on there, I think 3 so far, because I'm waiting until I get an FFL, if I can get an FFL. I've sold a Macrob on there. It was supposed to go to a place in Florida. Get all the dude's information and everything, take it to the UPS store. When I give the lady the address, she's like, this isn't coming up in our system. Turned into a literal Google fucking snafu where this bitch was like, alright, well, we'll just find the address on Google because it's not popping up in the system. So I'm like, alright, well, that sounds good to me. So plops the address in Google, the address pops up. She's like, alright, is this it? And I'm like, yep, looks like it. Had the same name, same place, and that's it. Go for it. So there it goes. It's off into the wild blue yonder. So 2 or 3 days later, and yes, I did get the fucking tracking receipt. I see that it's delivered, so I throw away the fucking receipt. A day or two after that, I get a fucking phone call, and it's from Alabama. It's an Alabama area code cell phone. And I'm like, hello? And this dude's like, hello, is this so-and-so? Because if it is, there's a gun that showed up here at my house, and I don't know what the fuck this is doing here. Why have you sent a firearm to my house? Do you know this is illegal? Do you know you've broken the law? I could call the police right now and they'll come down there and arrest your dumbass. You need to seriously rethink your entire life over one fucking shipping mistake. And I mean, this dude was fucking pissed. He would not calm the fuck down. He even told me he would come over here and beat my ass if he lived near me. And I'm like, holy fuck. Obviously, at this point, I'm under the impression that, oh my god, the gun did not go to fucking Florida. Somehow this got fucked up, and the gun is now in Alabama because a guy with an Alabama area code is calling and yelling at me about receiving a fucking firearm. And I'm like, holy shit, I have seriously... Anyway, it's just a combination of shit, I guess, but there's no real blame. But I mean, this dude was fucking pissed, and I'm shitting my pants because I'm like, holy shit, I broke the goddamn law. This dude's pissed. Like, how much fucking trouble am I in right now? So I'm like, calm down, let me fucking get on the phone and call the guy that actually paid me for the gun and tell him what's going on. I'll call you back and then we can get this shit handled. So he's like, well, you damn well better call me back. I'm like, god damn, dude, just calm the fuck down, bro. Like, seriously, it's a fucking... But anyway, I mean, at this point, I'm feeling his fucking anger, like seeing it as rational, because I'm thinking that I did break the goddamn law. I try to call him back like 20 minutes later after I contacted the guy who actually bought the gun and tried to tell him what was going on. And when I tell him the gun went to the wrong place, he says, oh yeah, I'm real sorry about that. There's another gun shop about 15 miles away from here with the exact same name as my gun, as the gun shop that he was going to use to transfer for the FFL. And I'm like, no, that's not what happened. This thing went to fucking Alabama, because that's what I thought was still the case. And then I call the original asshole back, and he doesn't answer his fucking phone. I call this asshole every day for a week and leave him voicemail after voicemail, just begging for this asshole to call me so I can get his address, because that's, at that point, my solution was, I'm gonna get your address, create a UPS return label, and email it to you, and all you have to do is stick it on the fucking box, put it back in the mail, and send it to my house, and we'll be done. It'll be over. It's done, over with, whatever. It's like, oh, I'm not doing that, I'm not breaking the law like you did. Like, oh, alright, well, okay, I'll go talk to my FFL, and I'll get a copy of his fucking license, fax it to your bitch ass, then you can fucking make a fucking label, and you can send it to him, and then we'll go pick it up, and there's hunky fucking dory, over and done with. And fucking, he says to that, this is getting too fishy, I'm reporting you to the fucking ATF. And it's like, okay, dude, you want to fucking play whose dick is fucking bigger? Well, we'll get on the fucking phone then, asshole. So I called a fucking detective family friend, started telling him everything. He's like, well, look, just come down here, we'll have a meeting, we'll figure this shit out, and we'll go from there. And I'm still under the impression that I fucked up, that I did genuinely break the law and sent this gun to Alabama instead of Florida. So I'm still thinking, like, how am I going to get out of this without getting in a shitload of legitimate trouble? Especially now that the dude was saying he's reported me to the fucking ATF. Not fun to hear. It's just like, I mean, it's obviously just a dick fucking measuring contest at that point when people start saying shit like that, because, and especially when you find out what happened afterwards and everything, it was definitely a very good outcome, to say the least. So I go down there and I tell the detective everything that happened and everything like that, and he's like, okay, well, let's just get this guy on the phone. So he calls him, the guy answers, and the guy is still being a massive prick to this guy and telling him fucking, y'all don't know what you're doing, y'all are like a bunch of little idiots and shit like that. And it was getting to the point where he said, listen, asshole, you're not talking to a bunch of kids, you're speaking to a law enforcement officer as a detective. You understand? So you need to clean your little tone up. And he didn't, and eventually, like a couple minutes after that, just like, listen, asshole, I don't have time to deal with your shit right now, so we're gonna handle all this shit tomorrow. Because I went in at like 4 or 5 p.m. so it was getting close to time for everybody to go home. So the detective was like, look, asshole, I don't have time to deal with this shit right now, so we're gonna stomp all this shit tomorrow. So I'm like, alright. So I go in early the next day, comes to find out that this guy, the gun did go to a gun shop, and it went to the other gun shop that the guy that bought it was originally informing me of. There were 2 gun shops in Florida, 15 miles apart from each other, with the fucking same name. The literal same exact name. I don't remember the name, and even if I did, I wouldn't say it just because. But, so the gun did go to an FFL. It went to the wrong FFL, but it went to an FFL. So I did not break the law. And this dude was fucking, the entire time, obviously, this guy worked at this fucking gun shop and knew the I mean, I don't know, dude. You gotta be pretty fucking stupid not to know fucking that you have to go through an FFL if you're doing interstate deals for fucking firearms. Anyway, first day was when we found out that it did go to that gun shop, that it was a gun shop, and that I was not in the wrong, just a wrong address, and this dude was making a mountain out of a molehill, like, to the ultimate degree. So the next day, the second meeting with the detective started off by him calling the Shreveport ATF office and informing them of everything. And you know what they said? They literally said, we don't give a shit. Why are you calling us with this? It's like, holy fuck, dude. What? So, okay, then after that, we're like, alright, well, let's call an ATF field office in Florida, the closest one to them. So they call, and they get a representative on the phone, and then they call this gun shop. So it's a detective and an ATF field officer on the phone with this little prick. And guess who changed their tune? Fucking was the nicest little bastard you ever talked to on the goddamn phone. And the fucking ATF officer was like, look, dude, you're like seriously fucked up for like giving these people this much of a runaround. You know that you're the one that fucked up? And because of this, we're gonna be sending an officer down there to check all of your fucking books, bitch. So get fucking raped. And that's how that ended. So if you want to have fun, buy and sell on Gunbroker.